Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and the Don. Today we're here in the live stream to preview. Pardon me. Yeah, we're here today to preview week 26 Premier League games, including Brentford versus Arsenal. Unfortunately, as you can see, I was supposed to be with the Daddy, but unfortunately he's not here. Let's hope he's okay. But I'll carry on. We committed to a time and a show, so I'll go for every game. Give my score prediction, what I think will be. Yeah, you're stuck with me, guys. Anyway, we'll start off with Arsenal versus Brentford. In the household, it's the big game of the weekend, obviously. As you can see, I'm an Arsenal fan. Anyone who saw the preview that came out last night, obviously, I am an Arsenal fan. That was photoshopped. That was not a real hat. That's Phil trying to be funny. Obviously, the wife and the family on the other side are all Brentford. We'll be going to this game, as I've said, with Dougie. So that'll be interesting. We do owe them, we owe them a win. But the game itself, obviously, Brentford have had a bit of poor form recently. A decent result in hindsight against Crystal Palace, a clean sheet, stop the rot, a point nearer to safety against an Arsenal side who, again, first win in 2022, but they've only played 2 Premier League games before that. That was Man City and Burnley at home. It's in our hands. We've got the game in hands. So, obviously, I expect Arsenal to win this, like all fans for the Arsenal do as well. So, yeah, it's going to be one of them games. How the game will play out, yeah, like I said, I expect Arsenal to just dominate possession and try and break down from slowly but surely. Let's hope that we can do that. Will Brentford try and be looking for a goal, or will they settle for a 0-0? I don't think that's in their DNA to settle for a 0-0. I think, how they played against City, even though they lined up negatively on paper, they definitely pushed for a goal even before they conceded. So, Arsenal. Yeah, so with Arsenal, obviously, a lot of people have said about the striker situation. I think Martinelli won't play, so it will be Lacazette with probably Smith Rowe on the left. But in the future, I do think Martinelli now needs to get that chance up top. I don't think Lacazette's the answer. But again, no disrespect to Brentford, I think we'll have enough on the day to beat them. After this game, where do I see both teams going? I expect Arsenal to continue their chase for a top 4. Will we get there? I think it's between us and Man United, and I'll continue to think Man United might do it. Let's see. Regarding Brentford, I think they'll finish maybe 16th, 17th. They'll stay up just about. They've got some easier looking fixtures coming up. This is the free hit for Brentford, let's just be honest. If they get a point, that'd be great. But I fully expect the Arsenal to win this one very convincingly. So I'm going to score predict this one. Arsenal to win 3-0. Sorry, Laura. Sorry, Doug. Sorry, Ella. I want Brentford to win every other game apart from 2 a season, and that's against, obviously, the mighty Arsenal. If Brentford got to go when we're 3-0 up, it's 3-1. There you go. Anyway, we'll move on. If Phil does come on eventually, we'll go back to this game to get his point of view. Because it's just me, it's not going to be the longest video in the world. It's probably going to be half an hour. I don't need to be on here chatting forever. I've spoke about this game already. But anyone in any comments, any score prediction for this game, please leave. For any game, please leave on the comment section. Here's a few comments. This was what I put before the show. Incoming imagination from the Don, incoming favourite backing from the Daddy. But the Daddy hasn't shown up, so that's not the case today. Laura, Walla, come on the bees. Munsey Talks, thanks you, Munsey. Anyone who's not subscribed to that channel, please give it a subscribe and a like. I go in there occasionally. Some good people. He's a good lad as well. Yes, Graham, big up my main man. Do you want Ronaldo? Yeah, I'll have him. Why wouldn't you? He's still quality. We won't do it. You have to say that or you will be divorced. Well, she's in the other room, so I guess after the game I'm going to get a slap. I'll have Ronaldo, football-wise. Not like that, Laura. Munsey, 2-1 Brentford. Of course you'd say that. Yeah, of course you'd say that. And 2-0 Brentford, of course you'll say that. Realistically, Arsenal should win this one. I'll be very shocked if we don't. Like I said, I think it'll be 3-0 for Arsenal. But yeah, like I said, if Daddy comes on eventually, we'll go back to this one as it is the main game. But I have spoken already. Again, I expect Arsenal to dominate the game, get the goals. But the longer the game goes, you might see Brentford come into it. Anyway, moving on. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Obviously, I put this up high because the Daddy was supposed to be here. But I'll go through the game anyway. Crystal Palace, very inconsistent team, a hard team to beat. But they're improving under Vieira. They've got a lot of good young players. Vieira's got good tactics, but unfortunately they struggle to score as well. They're playing a Chelsea side for me who are slightly overrated. They're not, for me, they're not anywhere near Liverpool, Man City. I said this from the start, and I'll continue to say it, and I've been proven right. They are a good side, but they are a good side. They just raved a lot of momentum last year to win the Champions League. And they've just won the club championship. We can't take that away from them. I'm not being bitter here. I do like Chelsea in a sense where they've got good players, but they are not the best team in the league. We know that. I think Chelsea players know that. They are the third best team for me, solidly on their own. They're finished third. They've got an opportunity to win the League Cup next week. Every opportunity to win that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this game pans out. Now, a lot of people would always go with the away victory, but like I said a minute ago, Palace are hard to beat, especially at home. They don't concede many, and I do think this would be another opportunity for Palace to get a draw. I think Palace will look to win the game, but I think as the game goes on, they will definitely take a draw. I think Palace need a few more wins to be safe of relegation. Will they be safe for relegation? Of course they will be. I think they'll finish 10th or 11th. I said that at the start of the season, where a lot of people thought they could go down. Never thought that was the case, how they spent money in the summer. First time in a while that they've brought some players in who, after Roy's 2 or 3 years with the same boys. Going on to Chelsea Football Club. Again, I've already said what I said about them, but regarding this game, I think Lukaku's the key. I have Lukaku every day of the week. Chelsea fans need to be grateful of him. He's a world-class striker. That's my opinion. He's just obviously struggling to find his real form. I think Timo Werner is definitely another player. I like him. I think he's a great player. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. He doesn't score the goals, and I get that. If them two can start finding goals, Chelsea will win majority of their games out and most likely finish, comfortably third, even pushing second. You just never know. That's still, of course, an option. Obviously, the league's out now. Regarding this game, like I said, I can't put it past Chelsea to win this, but I'm actually going to go for a draw. I think this could be I think Palace take the shock lead here, and I'm going to go with Edouard, and then Chelsea come back in with Lukaku. So, and Chelsea push. And here we go. I'll add something else. I think Palace go down to 10 men very late on, and Chelsea fail to capitalise, and it stays 1-1. So I'm going to say Palace 1, Chelsea 1. I'm sure Jay will come on and see this and say Chelsea 6-0, but he's not here at the moment. Regarding this game, Palace to win. Munsey talks. When you coming on, Munsey? When you coming on, Munsey talks Laura. She's never coming on. And Munsey thinks 1-1. Yeah, exactly the same. I think this will be 1-1. Anyone just tuning in? Unfortunately, it's just me today. I don't know where the Daddy is. I'm sure he's probably falling asleep. But it's just me. So we'll move on to the next game. Man City versus Tottenham. In theory, this is probably the game of the week in sense of club stature. I know Tottenham are in poor form, and they were at 7th or 8th, or somewhere around that, against Man City at home, who are the best team in the world. That's a fact. Everyone can dispute that and say Bayern Munich, they need to get off whatever they're smoking. Man City are the best side by an absolute country mile. This is going to be a game which will... This is going to be a one-way game. Doesn't matter how good Tottenham are. They are a decent side, even though they're in poor form. Man City, apart from a few teams at home, are unbeatable. And then few teams probably are only Chelsea, Liverpool, and that includes Arsenal. We got proved that this year. Man City will play any of their 21, 22 first-team players and be very confident to get the win. Tottenham brought a few players in that I like, got rid of a lot of chuff, but they're very lackluster in depth, especially in that centre midfield. And the fact is that Tottenham fans are praying for Eric Dyer coming back. That says everything you need to know. Eric Dyer is Dyer. He's been better because he's playing in the back three, but let's not make no mistake about it. He is a very average player. So, uh, regarding this game, again, it's very hard to say anything else. I like to have imagination, but I can't. Obviously, I want Man City to win as well. So part of my prediction will be because of that. So Man City versus Tottenham. I'm going to go for a very comfortable win here. Tottenham will do nothing. They will play negative. They'll play fight at the back. They'll look for a draw. And Man City will play their usual way, the false nine, probably Foden, De Bruyne, Silva, Mahrez, Sterling, and they win this one quite comfortably. They win this one 4-0. Yep, I'm saying it, 4-0. Conte, well, everyone loves Conte. He's okay. But he'll be under pressure after this because, 4-0. Tottenham will be out the race for top four once this game is finished. If you any predictions of this game, please leave it. I know I've got a few people watching. Ella Walla Hunt, I hate Chelsea. We know that. I'm afraid my contract with Danny the Don is with Danny the Don. Graham said I can't freelance. A very what win? Oh well, I'll leave it off. Laura Waller, City 4-1. Moving on. It's going to be the quickest video ever. We'll probably get to about half an hour, but blame Daddy, wherever he is. Leeds Man United. Yes, this is the feisty affair. This is a game both teams will look forward to. They both hate each other. Underrated rivalry, to be fair. I know that everyone talks about Liverpool versus Man United, but Leeds versus Man United, both teams want to do one over each other. It's at Ellen Road. It's not been the same Leeds as last year, but it was always going to be the case. Second season syndrome. Not the biggest squad in the world. Injuries. The best three players. Well, sorry, take Rafinha away. Sorry, the other two best players, Phillips and Brentford, have been out most of this year. So that's always going to be a recipe for disaster. I think the manager's tactics don't help. When they're losing, he seems to continue to go for it. Doesn't consolidate, and they get smashed and they lose convincingly. Will they have enough this year? Well, possibly. Regarding this game, though, I think regardless of how their season's gone, I think they'll be up for it, and I think they can definitely trouble a very average-looking Man United side under Ralph Rangnick. I think if they can get an early go, then they're in it. But if Leeds concede early, it's always game over for me. Man United, a very boring side, especially at home. The tactics don't work. The players they've got. Man United, again, I can flag them off all I want, but I still think they'll get fourth. But will they get a win out of this game? It's definitely a possibility. If Ronaldo can get his another goal, then that might just be enough. But I can see this game having a few goals in it. I can see both teams conceding and scoring. Regarding the score prediction, I do think Man United are going to win this one, actually. As much as I want to try and be an imagination, I can't say Man United will be fourth and continue to predict them to lose. It's going to be a 2-1 victory for Man United. I think they go 1-0 down and get 2 goals in the second half, both Ronaldo. Munzi will be happy with that. What do you think, Munzi? 6-0? Or do you think they'll actually win, maybe realistically, like I've said, 2-1? I'm going 2-1 Man United. Laura's predicted 1-0 Man United. Yeah, it's about right. I can just see them getting a win here. Not playing well, just shitting their way to a win and to fourth, possibly. Moving on. Liverpool versus Norwich. Not going to beat around the bush. Hold on. Not going to beat around the bush. Liverpool versus Norwich. This is going to be a absolute beating. I'm not going to say anything that no one else would say. Liverpool at home, they're the second best team in the league. They're on great form. They're against Norwich side who look like they're going down. 2 good wins recently against sides around them, but I don't expect anything more than a Liverpool absolute beating. Maybe Liverpool, even with their second team in the sense of Diaz and Firmino and all that, they're good enough to win this game. I've just had a message from Phil, actually. That's why I'm looking a bit. He's just said, "Are you ready?" We said 12 o'clock. Where is he? Get on here, Phil. Hurry up. Laura, 5-0 Liverpool. Yeah, listen, that would not be a surprise. But yeah, I'm going to say hat-trick for Salah and a couple of goals for Luis Diaz. And I'm going to say 1 for Mane. I'm actually going to say this is an absolute smashing. Liverpool only beat Burnley 1-0 last time out. Even though Klopp would be happy, he'd be very frustrated with that. They're still not out of this title race. One slip up for City, they're back in it. I think they're 8 behind with a game in hand. The title race is not over, though it looked like City will win it. Liverpool, if they can just continue to win and put the pressure on, you never know. Norwich, this is a free hit. I think they'll go down, and I think they'll lose this one quite badly, though they have improved under Dean Smith. Liverpool will want to take their frustrations out with only scoring one against Burnley. That sounds silly. They just had a fantastic win as well, Liverpool against Inter Milan. I'm going to say 6-0. Moving on. Sorry about that. I'm back. Next game, West Ham versus Newcastle. I did this on Prem predictions, and I expect this one to be a game where there is a upset. I think West Ham will expect to win this one, but West Ham have not been as good as last year, especially the mid-season form. Very inconsistent. I tell you what, here he is. Hello.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, where have you been?
A few little bits to
Started
sort
at
out.
12 o'clock.
That's all right. That's the trouble with live, isn't it?
All right, I'm already like 5 games in. I've got
Right.
nothing else to say. I tell you what, before I finish that, I'll go through each game with you. You tell me what you think, and then I'll ask you for a score prediction, yeah?
Okay, mate. Yep, go for it.
All right. First game, Arsenal versus Brentford.
Well, obviously, it's the anniversary of the first win for Brentford, isn't it? So 2-0 last time out. I think it's a complete different ball game this time, though. You were very, very poor first time you met, and Brentford were new, lively, had that sort of like X factor. No one knew what to expect from them. Came out of the blocks and pretty much bullied you. I think if you look at the two teams now, it's completely different. You're on good form. Possibly, I wouldn't say you're a top 4 team, but nobody else around there wants that top 4. So you're sort of not there by default, but you're the only ones that really look like you're interested in it at the moment. So Brentford, don't know what's happened to them really. They've sort of fallen a bit flat last sort of like month or so, haven't they? Really, they've not really got that energy that they had at the start of the season. Like, still probably trying, but they just look like a bit of a tired team at the moment. So I think it's going to be not like a domination, but I just think it's going to be quite a routine win for you. Probably something like 2-0 maybe.
Yeah, I know Brentford fans will be optimistic, but realistically, for me, I think this is going to be a win for Arsenal. I can't see anything else. I just think, especially our last home performance against Burnley, I just expect the boys to come out and Brentford will huff and puff, but like I said, 3-0 for me. Anything else on that game?
Yeah, I just think like with yourselves, just like you're still a bit vulnerable. Like when you say like the Burnley game, they didn't have anything to finish you off with, and I think like a bit like how Stoke used to be, where you'd get bullied by those sort of physical teams and struggle with them. Well, I think there's still that vulnerability there, but again, like with Arteta, as much as you don't like him, you aren't conceding a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So you sort of stay in games yourself, a bit like that Wolves game. Probably under like Arsene Wenger, you would have probably lost that game, especially once you went down to 10 men.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
he does seem to like make it a little bit harder to beat. So I think you are there for the taking, but I think Brentford aren't really in the position to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I get what you mean. I think Arsenal are a few players away from strengthening in the summer, and then we're definitely top. Well, we'll definitely be more top 4 definitely for me, but we'll see. For now, we've got good pieces, but we've still got a lot of chuff.
Do you think just staying with the top 4? Do you think maybe like coming fourth could be not so much of a good thing for next season because you maybe aren't ready for Champions League again yet? Like if you'd stayed in the Europa League, had a chance to build the team a bit more. Sort of like if you put yourself in. Like...
Yeah, I understand the thinking there, but I don't think there's much difference between us and Man United, and they were fourth last year. So who is ready? Someone's got to take it.
I can see you like in a Champions League group. Like you'd probably be the third best team in your group if you qualify for the Champions League now, because there'd be like a lower ranked team anyway that you'd
No,
put.
we would. I disagree with that. I think we'd be the second best team in the group.
Because I think you could really come undone. You know where you get those groups where, not so much now because Barcelona are like pants as well, but you know where you'd end up playing like a Bayern Munich and a Barcelona in the same sort of group.
No, we'd get someone like Valencia and maybe Barcelona, and we'll be the second best team in the group, and then play Sheriff.
Because I just think that'd be that'd do some real damage for you. You know, if you was.
I know what you mean, though. I understand the thinking, but
someone like Bayern Munich got hold of you now, you just sort of it'd be like lambs to the slaughter. But
no, I don't rate Bayern Munich. I don't rate Bayern Munich. I think they're overrated.
Who are you going to get in now, like up front? Because obviously, like there's no strikers. Who do you attract now, or do you think maybe you need to get like Smith Rowe and Saka have come through the academy? Do you think you just need to like hope in the next sort of year or two you get a homegrown player come through, or you can just take it? No, a bit like what Tottenham did with Dele Alli when he was young. Just go in and just steal the next up and coming player before.
Yeah. Balogun for me. He's on loan. He's playing well. I'll have him every day of the week to start. I think he'll come back next year and be the backup, especially if Nikita and Lacazette don't renew. Let's hope Nikita doesn't. He's fucking awful. We need a striker.
20 million for him when he's got 6 months left on his contract.
What are we doing? And we let the Batman go for free. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. The floor is yours.
Well, we have had some good results against Chelsea, but that's like over 5 years ago now. So I think perhaps is it like the last 7 games we've lost to them now? I think they just seem to always have our number and just do enough. They don't really smash us, but they just do enough to beat us fairly comfortably. So I'll probably say it'll probably be like a 2-0, 2-1 win. It'd just be too good for the other team, basically. We'd have to do something incredibly well to win, or they'd have to be particularly poor.
Carry on, Phil. I can hear you.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say on it, really. I don't think they'd have to have a really bad day at the office for us to get anything out of it. Can't see us winning, but potentially could get a draw if they have a day and we manage to contain them. Like you said, Burnley, if we get off the score sheet for the first 60 minutes, there's a chance of frustrating them. But if we concede early, it's game over, I think.
I already said 1-1. What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea on this one.
Fair enough. We move on. What do you think? Yeah, Phil. Man City, Tottenham. What do you reckon?
So Man City, Tottenham. I can't see an upset on this one. I think Man City are just scoring at will at the moment, and Tottenham, I don't know, they're huffing and puffing in games, but they're not getting the results. Probably can see them scoring a goal, but I can't see them keeping Man City out, really. I see this being at least a 3-0, 3-1 sort of scoreline.
No hope for Tottenham. All right. We're having connection problems. We'll move on. Leeds versus Man United. he's gone again. He's gone. The daddy curse. God, hopefully he comes back. I was talking about West Ham, Newcastle, and then Daddy came in. So, I've got people watching. Please continue leaving comments. Laura said 2-1 Newcastle. I do agree. I think Newcastle will win this one. Just because everyone will back West Ham to win it. This is the Premier League for a reason. West Ham are not a top 6 side. They're still a big mid-table side. Doesn't mean they'll win every game at home if they're not playing a top 6 side. I think a lot of people forget that and get very fickle with that. Newcastle in better form. I think Newcastle are running a lot of momentum at the moment. And I just think they'll get on the break. Yes, West Ham will dominate the game. West Ham will probably have the most of the possession. West Ham will miss the chances. But very similar to the win at Leeds, I think Newcastle will get that break, score a goal, hold on. They are better. They've signed players that are good enough to keep them up. And, they will stay up. And in the summer, they're going to sign even better players. And they're going to be a force in the coming years. And they will, for me, they have a better future than West Ham because West Ham doesn't have as much money. Small squad, players will go. And in 2 years' time, West Ham will be in the bottom 10. Simple as. So, for now, West Ham 0, Newcastle 1. Move on. Unfortunately, we lost Phil. So, hopefully, he'll come back. But he seems to have issues with his connection on here. Southampton, Everton. Another game that everyone will say home win here. But you just never know. Southampton are a very, very hard side to beat. But they're not a side that win many games. Let's just be honest. They have some good young players. They have a good coach. They play decent football. Yeah, they're underrated in a sense, but they fall under the bracket of Brighton, Palace and Wolves. They don't win enough. They just don't lose enough. They don't concede many goals either in a sense. They only seem not to lose to Man City this year, 2 draws. But that doesn't automatically mean that they'll win every game at home against the side outside the top 6, very similar to West Ham. Everton, on paper, have a better squad. They've just struggled with form this year. They've got a new boss in Frank. A good win against Leeds. Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison both back now up top. So, if this was a regular season, everyone would say draw. But a lot of people go into the Southampton here, and I don't agree with that. I think this could be an away win. Southampton are not the most consistent side in the world. So, I'm actually going to go for a 2-0 win for Everton. Both goals by Calvert-Lewin. Southampton, yeah, they're good. But they're just good. Their best player is a free kick taker. Let's be honest. We move on. Wolves versus Leicester. Regarding this game, again, it's another way where people will go home win based on the table. But Leicester, on paper, are a better side. Leicester finished 5th in the last 2 seasons. Former Premier League winners only 6 years ago. For me, again, this is another game that could go with an away win. Wolves, again, are a decent side. A great win against Tottenham. Unlucky against us. But, another side under that bracket, they don't score many goals. They're not the most entertaining, in my opinion, but they're well drilled. They've got a good manager who knows football. Playing a Leicester side who have been very very underachieving this year. I expected them to finish 10th or 11th. I called it. People go, no. I get things right. Let's just be honest. And I said that. I think this year would be the year when they start to struggle. Still a great side, and they still expect to get something from this game. This one here, I think this is going down the middle. Asher, I would say. I'm going to go 2-2. Leicester get a late goal to equalise. Yes, Wolves actually have 4 goals in the game. But it's imagination. That's what I'm the king of. 2-2, Wolves Leicester. Aston Villa versus Watford. On paper, this is a home win. But Aston Villa are not as consistent this year. They have a lot of good players. They have a good young manager. And on paper, they should smash Watford. But here's my thinking. Amir Sarr is now back. Probably will start. Him and Dennis. They haven't won a game since Sarr started the last game against Man United. But they also have Roy Hodgson, who has got the dinosaur tactics and doesn't know how to use players like this. He doesn't like players like this. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game for me. I don't think this is a nail-on-home win, as everyone would say, another game. But I think Aston Villa, if they play the right players and get an early goal, then this should be a comfortable win. So regarding this game, I'm going to say Aston Villa win this one 2-0. Yes, I favourite back. 2-0 Aston Villa here to beat Watford. And finally, Graham Potter is shit versus Burnley. Listen, Brighton beat Watford last time out. Woo! They should be beating Watford if they're that good. Let's be honest. Very average side. Well, not last time out, the game before, because they lost last time out against Man United. Woo! Uh, Burnley are great. They're amazing. No, they're not. Anyway, Brighton, first off, we'll start with them. They've had a good season. Very, very okay. Won 7 games. So it's not an amazing season. Let's calm down. They've won 1 game more than Brentford. They just draw a lot of games. They don't lose many. But for me, you could draw 38. You can draw probably 25 games a year and lose 13 and not lose that many, and you'll get relegated. So it's about winning, not about not losing many. It's about winning, especially when you're a team that are not going to be in the top 6 consistently. Listen, Graham Potter's okay, but he couldn't take up Swansea with a parachute payment in his first season. And the parachute payment was only $1 million. That's why a lot of these teams go straight back up from the into the Premier League from the Championship when they get relegated. He couldn't do that. He done well with a team in the Swedish League. The Swedish League, don't rate him, never will, and people need to stop saying he's get a big job, because if he gets that big job, he will get sacked very early on. He's not good enough. Let's just calm down. Burnley, hard side to beat at the moment, and I think this trend will continue. I just think they're going to draw a lot of games, and that's not going to get them out of the relegation zone. They're still a mile away. They need wins. I do think they signed a good player up front in Weghorst, and they've got Cornet, who's probably their best player. They've got 3 good players in my view: McNeil, Cornet, and Weghorst. Everyone else is, well, Tavosky's decent, but everyone else is very much Championship level, or past their prime, or too old, or not lacking the quality. I think Sean Dyche will continue to stay with the team, but I think if they do get relegated, I think he'll take a break from football. I think he deserves a break. As much as I don't like the guy, he's done a fantastic job. Better manager than Graham Potter for me. He's done it consistently day in, day out, and never got linked with a job, where Graham Potter does a very average job with a very average Brighton, and everyone wants him to go to Tottenham and Man United. Just let that sink in. Oh, he's back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I've done my predictions, so we'll go back to where we were. Lee, I think it was just finish off with Man City versus Tottenham.
Yeah, I just think Man City would be too good for them. I think it'd be all about how many goals they want to win by at the end of the day. If they want to win 2-0, it'll be 2-0. If they want to score more, it'll probably be more.
Okay, I think I said, I can't remember. I think I said 4-0 Man City. Leeds Man United. Go ahead.
Again, this one, it won't be like it was at the start of the season. I think was it 5-1 they beat them first day of the season?
Yeah.
And Bruno Fernandes got a hat-trick, but I think United should win this one, but I can probably see it being a draw, maybe 1-1.
Yeah, okay, moving on. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Moving on, Liverpool Norwich. I didn't really speak much about this one. I'm not gonna do a Bez and bum up the away side and then eventually go how when, because they're the favourites. I said 6-0. Briefly talk about the game and give your score prediction.
I can see where you got the 6-0 from. I think it'll be a 6-0 performance, but it'll probably be like a 3-0 win. Maybe they'll just be in complete cruise control in this one. Salah will probably want goals for the Golden Boot, so it'd just be about getting his stats up more than anything, I think.
Yeah, are you going to make sure you don't play Jota this week?
Well, it depends. Are you going to play Bobby Firmino, or is he going to play Jota?
That's it now. No one will play Jota now because Firmino started to play well again. We're talking about fantasy Premier League because you had Jota and De Bruyne as your captain and vice captain. That was hilarious, Phil.
Why not? Everyone a chance to catch up, haven't
I? Yeah. West Ham, Newcastle. I know you're going to go for West Ham here because you're a favourite backer, but you continue to dismiss Newcastle. This is my banker of the week, 1-0 Newcastle. What do you reckon?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if Mike Ashley's just completely turned me against Newcastle forever. There's just something about them. I don't really rate them. I don't ever fancy them. I wouldn't back them against anyone. West Ham, they're not as good as they were last year, but they've got a good team and they've been playing all right. So again, on paper they should win this one quite comfortably. But Newcastle have been informed, but they're not going to get any Trippier free kicks now, are they?
Fair enough.
That was fun, mate. I saw that anyway.
I'm just saying. What's your score prediction?
Anyway, my prediction was 2-1 West Ham.
Okay, moving on. He's gone again. Where has he gone? Gone. Daddy's. You there now, Dad? He's gone again. Oh, this is the perks of live TV. Well, live YouTube. 4 games away from completing it. Now, obviously, I was just in the in the middle of this game. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Burnley away victory here. I think Burnley will upset a very average Brighton side. And they're going to get a goal from their new Dutch striker. I think it's Weghorst. That will be the goal for me. And that's it. A few comments coming in. Blame the storm. Yeah, to be fair, there is a big storm here in the UK. So Arsenal to win for me. The daddy goes Arsenal as well. I go a draw. The daddy goes Chelsea. We both go Man City. I think we both went Man United here. We both go Liverpool. I go Newcastle. He goes West Ham. I go Everton. The daddy is still trying to figure out his connection. I think I went a draw here. Aston Villa and Burnley. I can do daddies for you. Southampton, Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton. All 4 favourites at home. That's why we go back to this comment. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I've got a few people watching at the moment. Before I go, anyone want to, any comment, any question you want to ask me, any score prediction for any of the games this week? I will be going to Arsenal Brentford with the Brentford boys, the firm, Dougie Waller and the firm. But that'd be a good day out. And then I've got So before I go, anyone want to add anything or ask me any question, any comment? He's gone to feed the cats. Hello, Christopher McMahon. He's gone to feed the cats. Feed the cats. What end are you sitting in? I'm sitting in the Arsenal end, mate, because I go to Arsenal games. Chris, I said that you'll draw this 1-1. If you're still watching, what do you reckon? This is like a phone-in show now. No one wants to come on, but everyone wants to comment. I've got not much more to talk about, really. I've gone through every game. I'll give it a minute just in case anyone wants to write a comment. But yeah, that's about it, really. Phil has gone. Unfortunately, we lost him with 4 games left. I'm sure he would have done all the favourites at home. So that's it for today's show, guys. Bit of an early bird. This was to help out Phil, who works night shift, and he ended up only coming on for a 20-minute cameo. Regarding the show, what's coming? He's going with the Brentford Massive. I am. I'm going with the Brentford firm. So regarding what's coming on Daddy and the Don, 3-0 Chelsea, I ain't been impressed with Palace. I'd get that, but I don't know. I just think one of those games where it could be 1-1, mate. But if you won that, I would be very surprised. I wouldn't be shocked at all, to be fair. Coming up on Daddy and the Don next week, Prem predictions, and we're going to do a special pre-recorded preview for the Carabao Cup final, Chelsea vs Liverpool. Fortunately, I work late next week, so there won't be any lives unless the daddy wants to do a live on his own. But we'll see. So obviously a few more pre-recorded videos coming up next week. If there's any opportunity, Monday might try and do a pre-recorded review of the week, but there's nothing confirmed. But hopefully we can try and sort something out. But yeah, that's been week 26 Premier League preview. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed and you're watching, please subscribe, like, share this, leave a comment. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate for everyone leaving comments. Thank you for Phil for coming on for a cameo. Hopefully he's fed the cats. And that's it for today's show. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.